Welcome to Design a Game with me. I'm Elden Killian and I'm on a quest to design a board game. I'm inviting you to tag along on the journey. So I'll be starting this project from scratch and share my progress as I work through the creative process. I hope the fruits of this labor will result in becoming a published game designer. This is episode 1, Guiding Principles. One thing I think is important as you start any kind of creative work is to outline what it is you want to accomplish or the success criterion. If I was doing a writing project, I'd want to know if my end goal was a novella or a scholarly work, and because I'd approach those two things completely different. And so it is with this project. Do I want to design a 10-minute filler or an epic war game? Something in the middle? So the answer to those questions are important to figure out before anything else. I hope this will help me stay focused on my project and not let wild tangents take over the project. So I've come up with 5 guiding principles. I hope to refer back to these principles as I work through the design process, and when I see myself starting to violate these principles, I hope to scale back the work. So I've come up with 5 things that I want to guide me as I work on this game. The first one is I want this game to be driven by the player's choices, meaning the player's choices will be the outcome. So not a roll of the die, not some other luck-based mechanism. I want their choices to guide the outcome. My second principle is I want this game to last about an hour to an hour and a half per play. I don't want a game that's going to drag on forever. I'm not interested in designing a short game, like 10-20 minute filler game. My favorite games that I like to play, about an hour and a half. So that's what I'm going to be focusing on, and that's going to be my goal, is to find a game that can play in that kind of time frame. Also, I want this game to be sort of a mid-weight, not a heavy economic game, not a big brain burner, but I also don't want something super light or something that you can kind of play on autopilot. I want you to think a little bit, not think too hard. Number 4 is I want the mechanisms of a turn to be able to be explained in about a minute. Probably somewhere between 30 seconds and a minute. I don't want the game to be so simple that you can just explain it in a couple of seconds. I don't want to be so complicated that it would take me 5 minutes to just describe what you do on your turn. I want this to be fairly simple, just pretty basic turn structures and something that's not hard to figure out. And then the number 5, and this is starting to edge into mechanisms, but I don't want to pigeonhole myself into a mechanism yet. However, I don't want this to be an attacking game. I want there to be some interaction, maybe if the design choices lead that way, but I don't want this to be a war game. I don't want this to be a tactical fight. I want the game to be focused on building up your own game or your own engine, and not tearing somebody else's down. I don't want some take that mechanism or something like that within the game. So leaning towards having that to be like an indirect interaction or positive interactions, trading, those types of things. And I don't want to say I'm going to do those things, but I want that to be in there. The interaction is there. I want it to be indirect or positive between the players, and not one person attacking another person. And so those are the 5 guiding principles. Just to go back over it, player choices driving the gameplay, about an hour to an hour and a half. A mid-weight game, something not too easy, not too hard. I want the main mechanisms of the game to be explainable in about a minute, and I want it to be a non-attacking game. And so with these guiding principles, I'm hoping I can go out and just really start to dig in. This is all I have for this episode. I'm hoping to keep all of these videos less than 10 minutes. as I go through the process, and just more of an explanation of things that I've done. I'm not sure how interesting it would be to actually sit there and watch me craft out or do whatever in what I'm doing. Stay tuned for episode 2. Episode 2 will be my brainstorm ideas. Just me throwing stuff against the wall, trying to come up with some ideas that I can then pare down so I can start focusing on so the game will come into form. Anyway, this has been episode 1 of Design a Game with me, and I'm Elden Killian, and I hope to see you next time.